Right.
And there's no chroma key, but I am recording.
Still need to work on an intro, at least.
Mm-hmm. Don't worry. Slow progress. I was just working on my format for a few days while I had some time that I can focus.
Mm-hmm.
So my layout is actually going to get edited as time goes on. It's going to be probably a new art somewhere for like probably next 5 episodes, but that's okay. Um, so I have that.
Okay. See if I put a ticket into Twitch, or I sent them an email letting them know of what's going on with me, or with my channel. It's not registering viewers. Which kind of sucks, but oh well.
Dun, 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 dun. I love this stuff, by the way. It's like
Okay.
it's like menthol in your mouth. Just like some people were actually coughing because it's like, God damn, this shit's strong. I'm like, that's how I like my women. Anyways, moving on.
Ripperoni. Oh yeah, Twitch says I'm offline. Because Twitch said fuck you.
Gotta love Twitch, Twitchy Twitch, Twitch, Twitch is a little twit.
You were part of that conversation last night, weren't you?
Yes. I was kind of like in the background, but yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of bad. For some reason, it's not registering my viewers. Should have viewers. There we go. We're at the obligatory 2 viewers, where I'm always stuck. I'm going to go ahead and take it live. We're behind anyways.
Yep.
So, hello and welcome back to the Ant Fox Show. This evening, you are joined by Restless Fox and my co-host, Mr. Antras.
Hello, everybody. And we have 2 different formats coming at you live. Well, not live. One of them's YouTube.
Well, live
Anyways,
on my end.
live on your end. 2 different styles. So, we are going to have a few things. If you see right there, YouTube, a whole list of things of stuff that happened this week, and also things that have been going on my radar. You'll see that probably on Monday. I'm trying to get my hand placements good, but yeah. So look forward to that. And what else can I say at the very beginning? Hey, you're buffering. Um. So yeah, let's get things going.
Yeah, and as you can see, we do have 2 webcams going at once. Now you can see Antras's face, and not only just his, but mine as always. But yeah, we're slowly working on the channel. We're making some progress, albeit it is slow. It, but it is progress nonetheless. We are still working out some of the kinks that are coming up. In the meantime, we worked out a way that we can view two different webcams at once. And this is what you have now, which I'm excited about.
Same. So, for some of you who happen to be in the college and in the high school or any other class, I guess, deal, happy Thanksgiving break. It is the start of the Thanksgiving break. So, that's always fun. Be merry. Don't drink all the eggnog and make sure that it's not spiked with rum, unless you're 21 and older, in which case I hope it's spiked with a bunch of rum.
I've got rum on standby.
Oof. And remember, the turkey does not make you tired. It's all that food that you ate.
Indeed, it's your liver being overwhelmed by the amount of substance you consume.
Oh yeah, it is terrible a lot too. I mean, you are the Thanksgiving turkey, stuffed. So yeah, for most people who happen to be in classes in high school or any other school, I guess I could say, happy Thanksgiving break. I hope you guys will be safe. Drive safe if you happen to be to relatives. Make sure that you stay cautious on the road because, especially here in Florida, at least where I'm at, there's a lot of crazy drivers. So keep that in mind, guys.
Indeed, just be careful, be safe. Don't do anything stupid. That's the biggest thing. Just don't do anything stupid. Be safe. I know it can be a hard time for a lot of you out there that don't have immediate family, or it's something else that had risen, or it's been something that's prior. But still, be happy, be merry. If you have something that's going well in your life, cherish it, hold it dear, and keep moving forward.
Also, drink lots of water, people. PSA.
Indeed. Oh, yes, indeed. Just because the winter months are approaching and the weather is getting colder, the biggest thing is dehydration. Our bodies feel like it's not needing as much water, but it's quite the opposite. We're needing just as much water, if not more, to stay hydrated. So, shall we move into a little bit of news?
Yes.
For those of you that do not know, our greatest curator of comic book heroes, Stan Lee, has passed away, ripe age of 95.
Yeah, that kind of took everything by storm. It's just like suddenly, bam. There was no kind of health follow up like Vince Fanny, I think was the deal. I think I said that right. Or any other kind of celebrity death where there was some sort of follow up. Stan Lee's was like, yeah, he was ill, but it was just like there happened, which kind of hit a lot of your social medias by storm. I mean, there's a lot of people that was just like, damn, that sucks. And I saw a lot of positivity because of that, though. I mean, there was I believe, a comic book issue from Deadpool that, since you guys know about the fourth wall breaking, he understands he's the first hero to ever knows that death. I hope his continued insight will live on. Even though I'm not a big superhero fan myself, I don't really care for it, but I know a lot of people who do, and I hope that his Stanley's art style, Stanley's type of execution towards things continues to live on throughout these whole years.
Indeed.
And speaking of Deadpool, one second.
Oh.
Ryan Reynolds is now Pikachu?
That is quite interesting. A live act Is it live action, or is it just like an animated movie? It seems like it's an animated movie.
It's a live action with CGI.
So live action with animation. Great.
Yep. So Yeah, your friendly, lovable Deadpool will become Pikachu, as Ryan Reynolds will be that fuzzy butt, fuzzy fuzz. Um,
Yeah, I find that kind of interesting that they're making a beloved, long time running anime into a live action. They kind of did it with Dragon Ball, but they kind of butchered it. So I'm kind of I have the expectations of Pokemon being butchered too.
but here's the deal: it's not exactly a Pokemon movie in that way. Think Pokemon Go, but having that live action rather than the anime. You're not the main character isn't Ash Ketchum or any other well-known character. It is just a person who happens to be in a city. I forget where exactly. So don't think of it as a Pokemon movie, but a movie that has Pokemon in it. So it should be
Mm.
better because it's not following any sort of canon. There's no lore behind it that could easily be broken like many other anime or any other cartoon turned into a live action movie. So that's good. Uh,
So, but yeah, I can see that. But still, anything from an anime that gets turned into live action has the tendency to get butchered, whether it's canon
oh
or
yeah.
not.
Oh yeah.
And still, it's game based as well because Pokemon has been a phenomenal game, uh, mainly because it's handheld and it's been around for almost as long as the anime itself, and it's taken the world by storm pretty much. That's the biggest thing, and being able to go around and try and catch every kind of Pokemon that you can in different game versions of what it may be, and then it getting turned into Pokemon Go on top of that, and where you could actually play on your phone or some other kind of handheld device and go walking around your city or adventure out past your city bounds into other territories and catch Pokemon yourself like you are the actual trainer. And that has taken the world by storm as well. And now they're producing a movie which is kind of Pokemon Go-ish based, from what you say. That's going to be interesting. Whether it's bad interesting or good interesting, that's going to be more up in the air.
Yeah. But we'll find out. It should be good. Hopefully, I mean the Ryan Reynolds is really a funny guy, so I think it's going to be leaning towards, at the very least, a stupid but funny comedy, which is fine, as long as the execution is exactly that, um, and not funny out of irony. Which it should.
Indeed.
I think it's going to be purposefully funny, and it's going to hit that execution on head. So we'll find out. I mean, hey, I was wrong about Fallout 76. I hope I'm going to be right about this one. Um, so that's pretty cool. So let's talk about next. We are already going kind of fast about this, but that's okay because we can always talk about something else as we wind down to minutes. Is the new MMOs as for late 2018 and going from 2019 onwards. Unless you want to talk about something first, Fox.
No, I don't have anything at the moment.
Okay. So there has been a lot of games that are going to be released during that time. I forgot a lot of names, but one thing picked up my interest almost immediately. I'm not going to exactly talk about it now, but you can see it on my screen right now, YouTube community. And my Chrome is going a little bit on the slow side, but that's okay. Uh,
Tends to happen when you have a lot of applications going, especially since I'm streaming, and I know it's not going to have any effect on what's going on with you, but it's the the Discord call, that's most likely impacting it.
Yeah, I think it's Discord call, and I think it's I don't think my thing's not being overloaded at the any time. It's running really smooth, so that's cool. I'm gonna be talking about that one specific game, but you see it on my to do list. Talk about. But we're getting games like um, Diablo Immortal coming out 12/31/19, which is gonna be a mobile, so it's gonna be on the phone. Uh, Diablo essentially, so it's gonna be ARPG. Now there has been a lot of backlash on that specific game. If you guys saw the BlizzCon footage about that, people were booing that like a Star Trek fan booing their lead characters. It was amazing.
That's interesting.
Anthem
Yeah,
is. Oh, go ahead.
it just goes to show that Blizzard is still trying to reach out and expand even into territories that they're not familiar with, and putting a very beloved game, especially one that has been around for decades. The Diablo Enterprise has been around for a while, and then they're moving it onto phones, and it's going to be interesting for sure. The controls are probably going to be dumbed down a little bit for the mobile devices to be able to handle it, but still they're branching out onto other devices rather than just sticking on computer and some game consoles, since Diablo 3 ventured out into game consoles.
Yeah, but here's the deal, right? I'm not a big Blizzard fan. If a lot of you know that about that, so I'm actually quite the opposite of a fan. But um, oh, Fox knows about that. Anyways, so here's the deal. Even though I don't care about Blizzard, and kind of in the back of my mind, I hope they kind of squandered down to hitting that 0 mark. Um, if they execute this correctly, if they do practically almost all the gameplay mechanics, hell, even more gameplay mechanics they could ever have. A lot of people think, oh, just because it's mobile, that they're gonna dumb everything down or anything like that. Not exactly, especially with newer phones. With newer phones, practically like a PC on hand, very powerful machines for just such a small device. Um, if they happen to execute and treat it as if it's a PC game but has mobile touch to it, have that same type of Diablo feel, it's gonna hit. It's going to be great. Is that gonna happen though? We'll find out.
Indeed. Well, what I mean by dumb it down, dumb the controls down, is I've played some RPGs that are on mobile devices, and the controls are a little bit different, but it's simplified in a way that it can still feel like an RPG game, rather than just sitting there and moving your character just by one finger. You're sitting there with both your thumbs, and it's kind of like a controller sitting in your hand, moving your character around.
Yeah. So it should be okay. It should be okay. Now let's talk about. I'm trying to find other games. I think I heard Ashes Creation before. I know I heard of Pantheon, Rise of the Fall, something. Rise of the Fallen, yeah. Anthem, I think it's gonna be out next year too, if I actually did my clicking correctly. Let's see, yeah. Released Q1 of 2019. The retail price is 60 buckers.
Rip.
Oh yeah, it just. Oh, hi. Well, okay. Welcome back. Buy to play. So it's gonna be a one-time fee, 60 buckers. It seemed really cool. The graphics of that game is really good. Um, I mean, I'm not a big fan of graphics, but hey, some people love the graphics. But that's a pretty cool little deal. I never. Yeah. I don't know. It seems pretty cool. Okay. Time to stop squandering. Time to talk about the game that I've been having under my radar for a while. Chronicles of Elria. 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 It's going to be an MMORPG where a character actually ages and can perish that way too. It's kind of think. Oh God, how can I put this to words? So I'll just kind of give you guys a description by what MMORPG.org or .com tells you. Chronicles of Elria is the first MMORPG where your character ages and dies, encouraging you to think beyond your character to their role in a larger story. Fearless in its design, it embraces characters' ability to impact other characters, a closed economy, finite resources, non-repeatable questions, fully destructible environment means the world is experienced differently for every character. Each time you log in, there's something for you to participate in. Local, regional, and national conflicts are continuously unfolding, giving birth to repeated opportunities for you to change the course of history. Essentially, think fantasy game meets real life, but time gets like fast forward essentially. Enter the world where, as a member of a player-run family, then work your way up from a humble adventurer to a landed vassal. Developer dynasty, work on run kingdom. Essentially, you get skills, and you work on that. It seems like, see, a player by a spark of light that grants the soul the opportunity to live for between 10 to 14 months. During that time, the character grow old and eventually die, leaving their mark in history. But while alive, you must choose your actions carefully, as each in-game death increases or reduces your overall lifespan and brings your character that much to permadeath. So, yeah, permadeath for that character exists, but it seems like your account though will hold all your skills or something like that. Skill-based character development. Anyways, so experience character over multiple lifetimes. With each life, you develop your character and make your mark on the Chronicles. When your character eventually dies, their soul will be reincarnated stronger than before, and their spirit and destiny will live on for another character of your making. So I was right. So your character dies, that character dies. Their soul will be you can make to another character for that character to build up until they die, and then that kind of moves on, kind of like a roguelike RPG essentially, because things become different no matter what time of the day it is. Something's happening. Your character dies, that character gets permanently dead. You make another one based off your old one and move on from that. That's pretty cool. I kind of like that, because it does hold some insurance. And it has survival game mechanics, so it has hunger, thirst, and all this other stuff where essentially it's realism. And I like that. I like realism. And I saw
Some
some.
realism added into games does help benefit. There are some games that I've played that has some sort of realism to it. Like, for instance, Green Hell. Green Hell has quite a bit of realism to it, and it feels much better for a survival game. At least in my opinion, that's what I enjoy a little bit more. When there's something that has some sort of semblance of realism.
Yeah. But this is pretty cool, though. Like, I kind of like this whole survival aspect, even for like an MMORPG where you have to do something. It gives you that drive to keep going to do something. Sure, some days can be a little bit on the monotonous side, but it keeps you from just sitting AFK staring at Arcasar and waiting for PK. Sorry, PWI reference. So I kind of like that. It kind of makes everyone move and keeps moving and keeps exploring and maybe cause a little bit of trouble here and there because hey, that shack looks pretty plunderable. Might as well take care of that too.
Indeed, and you should be able to be fairly involved, fairly well involved, I should say, fairly well involved in an MMORPG. There should always be something to do. And it's like when I first started playing World of Warcraft back in 2007, I had a lot of fun with it. There was always something to do. You just didn't really sit idly by. And even when got to end game, there's always stuff to do. And you never were really sitting idly by. You either you were crafting, you were talking with people in your guild, planning stuff out, working the auction house, doing dungeons, doing raids. There's always stuff to do. There's always some way to have fun. Achievement hunting, getting mounts, collecting pets. There's just so much to do. And as time progressed in World of Warcraft, you could actually say that it was a second life. And in a way, it was true because it really enveloped your life. Nowadays, not so much. In my opinion, a lot of MMORPGs that are out there have lost their touch in being able to captivate the audience. It's getting redundant, and a lot of the content that's out there is just basic reskins of things that have been either taken out or old dungeons or old content that just gets readjusted and reskinned to make it look like something new until you do it and you find out that it's basically a reskin and you're like, that's why it feels familiar.
Yep.
World of Warcraft, Blizzard Entertainment, I should say. Blizzard Entertainment has been doing that for a while now because of their own reasons. Bluehole Studios is doing the same thing too, and pushing the branches that are under them to do the same thing. It's not bringing much of a uniqueness to the MMORPGs anymore. It's I'm not doing it. The developers that are behind a lot of these MMORPGs aren't going out of their way to try and captivate their audience anymore. Could it be money? Could it be stress? Could it be deadlines? Who really knows? If you are close with them, you could give us some insight. I just
No,
wish that it's something that has a massive community behind it, and I mean a massive community behind it, or even communities that are. I wish they would the developers or even the community themselves would, you know, reach out with their outcries and try and encourage these developers to captivate them. Like, hey, we want something new with this game. We thoroughly enjoy your game. We've had a lot of fun with it, but you giving us these reskins of dungeons or even a lot of the content that you're giving us back isn't working anymore. We're not having the fun that we used to. We're not captivated like we used to be. Give us something new. Give us something that we would like.
Yeah. That's why I'm hoping for Chronicles of Elria. I still didn't fix my typo. Let me fix that right now. And save. There we
Yeah.
go.
Chronicles of Elria looks like it'd be something good, and even some of the stuff that I'm looking at about it, as they're supposed to be taking the massively multiplayer online genre to the next step. And they were founded on Kickstarter, which is awesome. That's great. That it's people that wanted to do something themselves but didn't really have the money to, and then they get the backing of the people to help them develop something new.
Precisely. Oh, precisely. I didn't know if you could hear me the first time there. But yeah, it's. I kind of like the whole risk deal going on here. And I've been noticing that with a lot of your MMORPGs that it's not copy paste. At least not anymore. At least with some. Some wants to do something different. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you not hear me?
No, it's just that I loaded a game and I don't know if OBS is liking it.
Oh, yeah, you're kind of getting lagged out. But yeah, it's I like that they have will have a closed economy within the game, and finite resources and quests that aren't repeatable.
Yeah,
That's definitely going to be something new to bring to the table. And I like that. Oh, that's something that a lot of people don't really get to experience, especially in MMORPGs, is a fully destructible environment.
correct.
And for those of you that have been gaming a while and would know Red Faction,
Oh God,
the
yes.
Red Faction brought a fully destructible environment to the table. They were the first ones to do it. And it was so much fun to be able to destroy everything around you. It brought something new to the table. It brought something that captivated their audience. And people actually had fun. Yeah, you got to be able to destroy the environment around you, but the thing about it is you could use it to your advantage. It's being situational aware and using your environment to your advantage now. It's a whole different aspect, and a lot of the newer games are able to do it. Like I think it's Rainbow Six that you're able to do it, and you can destroy some of your environment, not all of it, but some of it, to be able to gain some sort of advantage. And it's just been a lot of, and that's something that I miss from a lot of games as well. You really can't destroy the environment around you. You can destroy some things here and there, some perishable items like uh, pots, vases, some small trees, stuff like that. And those are just examples. And it's a lot of RPGs, just in general. It doesn't have to be MMORPGs, but just RPGs in general, especially a lot of the older ones. You had some stuff that were destructible, just that could be destroyed in the environment or close by. For instance, Legend of Zelda, you had stuff that you could but you couldn't really destroy the environment itself. So being able to bring this into an MMORPG, that's going to bring something completely new to the table, and it's going to have a new feel to it. It's going to have a new pull to it, and make a lot of the other developers that are backing a lot of the other companies, I should say, a lot of the other companies to take a second look at their own MMORPGs or just MMOs in general and say, wow, this company founded by some people to a younger generation is making it to where they could destroy the environment around, and yet we don't even have that.
Kickstarter too. Like
Yeah,
I
it's
have
people
high
taking
hopes.
something into their own hands, which I think us as people really should be doing more of anyways. Is if we don't like something that's happening either with games or movies, why not try and do something about it on our own? We live in a world of creativity now. Look at YouTube and Twitch and streaming platforms or recording platforms. And just we are taking a lot of uh, our the content that's available to us and putting it out as something for ourselves and creating our own content and growing more as a society because we have the platforms to be able to do it now. Why not take it to the next level with games and be able to do it too?
Yeah. It's something that's really cool and something that just caught my eye while I was doing some research.
Indeed.
Also, yes, YouTube community, I am playing some Minecraft. Don't yell at me. Don't crucify me.
RIP. Not even playing any games right now. I could, but
It's in order.
true.
You're not even like second guessing. You're just like, yeah.
Oh yeah, I could, but yeah, it's just there's a lot coming in, and the standards for games it just keeps getting set higher and higher, and it's just not even the bare minimum standards anymore. It's look at the graphics of all the new upcoming games. It's just getting better and better and more realistic, and from what we've started from before in the late 80s and the early 90s. There's just so much going on, and the computers and the game consoles that are able to run these is just so much more now. It's so much more powerful. If you, for example, if you take today's smartphone, it has enough computing power to be able to do as much, if not a little bit more, than the supercomputer that was built in the 80s. That is tremendous. It's all that power and just in the palm of our hand. And the computers that are building today, It's like, for those of you that want something in a different perspective, look at the cars that we're developing today, the sports cars that we're developing that have so much more power than the old so-called sports cars and muscle cars. Whereas the old ones had between 100 to 200 horsepower and they were running 13, 14-second quarter miles. And now today's, it's standard to have a sports car come off the lot that runs 10-second quarter miles. And they're running 600, 650, 800 horse like it's nothing. It's people just bat an eye at 750 horsepower like it's nothing now. And now people are oohing and awing at 1,000, 1,100 horsepower. And that's pretty much what's becoming of our computers too. It's crazy to think the power that technology has behind it, and the things that we can develop and push out there to, not only from the creators of a lot of these games and software, but the community as a whole is, absorbing it. Hey, maybe, and giving a lot of suggestions and crying out for some of the things that they want to see for the games that they enjoy.
Oh, I'm dead.
You're done. Uh-huh.
What? My home bed was missing or... Oh, no.
I mean, mm, let's see what else. I mean, there's even Magic the Gathering. Get this, Magic the Gathering is putting out MMORPG. It's not by Wizards of the Coast themselves, but it's a developer that has most likely gotten the permission from Wizards of the Coast to be able to make the game in their honor, or by just coinciding with them to make an MMORPG. And that is quite surprising too.
Yep.
And there's a lot on the table out there. There's still even early access games in Steam that are still in development, and a lot of changes happening to them, and those those games becoming more and more by the month. And one thing I do like about Steam, the Steam Workshop as a whole, is a lot of the developers actually listen to their player base and what they want, and take a lot of the suggestions and ideas from their communities that are backing them and becoming the games that both the developers want and are aiming for, and that the community behind them wants as well. You don't really get a lot of that, the big name companies that are out there that develop games just on their own. Yeah, they might look over a lot of the social media and see a lot of the suggestions out there and take up some of the ideas. There is some influence, I'm not going to lie. There is some influence by the community when they reach out when a game is under development, and it does get influenced, but not like the games that are in the Steam workshops. And there is so much, especially when it comes to MMORPGs. The standards for MMORPGs are quite high. They're usually higher than most other games that are out there because they are such big games. And you're playing with people from all over the world, so the standards are going to need to be higher. Excuse me. And unfortunately, there are a lot of MMORPGs that do come to fruition and drop off quickly because they don't have the community behind them, and it just becomes a flop.
Yep.
Okay, Mr. Dead Face over there.
I am so sorry. I'm telling you, I'm trying to work on that. I'm trying to work on it. But, yeah, though, like, there has been a lot of just what's that word? Hype? No, not hype. Expectations. With especially with MMORPGs, because it's not about the early to mid game. It's about that late game. It's that end game, and you could have like a really um
And either way, it's just there are some games out there that do get a lot of hype behind it and set the expectations higher than normal, and they get once they get released, it becomes a total flop. And Bless was one of those. And Bless has been around for a while, and then it gets released to the U.S. and it fell off pretty quickly for a lot of people because there's a lot of hype behind it, and the game itself fell short of the hype. Whereas if a game doesn't get the hype that it's in a way deserving of, and the standards for that game get set lower, then the expectations get dropped down for it as well. And when it does get released, it blows people away and they see more of the game than what was put out there, and the game being dropped down, and it becomes something more. That's something that I like about a lot of MMORPGs that come out, even just regular games, games of different genres, when they don't have the bar set too high for them, and they kind of in a way get set up for failure and expectations, and then when it does get released and people do try it out and word spreads from there, like it's more than what it was led on to be, those are the games that usually take off. And
well, I hope everything comes well with especially that game. And um yeah, I mean I can't complain. It should be good, but we'll just hope for the best. Oh gosh, what
we were
is
lagging
this?
out.
Yeah, I was lagging out just a little bit there. Um, what happened to my video? Yeah, full screen. But yeah, it's just I don't know. I can't wait. I think my YouTube is gonna start freaking out. It's like, why is there a lot of technical difficulties going on?
Even I can pull up YouTube and maybe even look at um uh, RPGs for 2019. Let's see.
Oh, I know why that my screen's acting up.
Why?
It's because I have my second monitor up, so everything's just like, just
Rip.
I'm just gonna fit to my other screen. That's okay. I'll live. Anyways, let's talk about something else. You have any news of anything?
I have a Crowfall video playing right now. It looks kind of interesting.
Oh, Crowfall. I had that on the MMORPG list. It just seemed a little bit too player intuitive without, I don't know.
Player intuitive? What do you mean by that?
It just seems like it's funny. I say, "Oh, Chronicles of Ria is gonna be amazing," and it's heavily like player dominant. I guess I could say like. Let's talk about some other MMORPGs where there's a lot of NPCs. I just feel like Crowfall would be one of those that don't really have a lot and really just focuses on players. You dictate things. And it's just like,
You were cutting in and out on that one.
yeah, I'm downloading a map.
Rip.
I'm sorry. I want to surf. So everything's just taking like forever and a half because multiple things are happening and just like, so much being pulled.
Interesting. Lost Ark. Ooh, Lost Ark looks like something that would be good. The
Ooh,
graphics are intense for sure,
right.
but it looks like it might have a good story behind it, some lore. And I like a game that has lore behind it. If the game is has good lore and it's very enthralling, it'll suck me into it. Like the Destiny storyline. It was very enthralling and very, even though it was linear, it's still very enthralling. It sucks you into it. Project TL. I actually saw that on a list that I was looking at too. Project TL has Unreal Engine 4 in it. Let's see,
Oh yeah.
Project TL looks ridiculously great. We just got the reveal trailer from NCSoft late last year, and it was one of the best game trailers of the year. There's a lot of visually stimulating ideas to chew on here, including abilities with vibrant colors, excuse me, including abilities with vibrant colors, some interesting looking abilities we haven't seen before, and a great top-down perspective you don't see in the game in the genre much. We also see a character scaling a big dilapidated structure of some sort, which implies scalability and verticality. It's the rebooted version of what was originally Lineage Eternal, and now it will use the Unreal Engine 4. We certainly shouldn't expect it to release in 2018, but maybe, just maybe, we'll get some sort of beta at the end of the year. And the big concern here is that NCSoft is, as the publisher, and they've had so many problems in the past. Most recently, they let us down with how they handled WildStar, which is now going bye-bye. So here is a game that has a great trailer behind it. It's getting hyped up, but the publisher behind it is kind of getting stones thrown at it for having plenty of failing games. So the standard is kind of set in two places. Let's continue the trailer.
Ooh.
Holy cow.
What's up?
The trailer looks really, really intense, like it's mob heavy.
Nice.
Almost like a bullet hell, but with mobs. So this is definitely going to be something different for an MMORPG, especially with it being kind of, well, it isn't kind of, it is top down, but there's going to be scalability too. There's just so much going on. I could see this being a game that would be overwhelming to the average person.
Yeah. Ah, this map.
Your dead face again.
It's a habit. This is why I don't do face cam normally. It's just like, oh, it's a deadpan me.
Maybe you should. That's something we definitely have to work on for the Ant Fox show, is being able to come up with the content to be able to captivate our audience, and bringing news, game news, especially and upcoming things and just game related topics to keep everybody informed of what's going on and give our opinions as well.
Yeah. And for the most part, I, I did. I did a little bit. um, one of my biggest problems, and this is why I'm normally on YouTube, that I don't
Hello, S. Killbomb.
I don't normally have my face cam up. It's just because I'm deadpan. I'm just like, so that's something I need to work on.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure it'll get better over time.
Yeah. What? Anyways, what else can we talk about?
This one's just in Korean.
Yeah,
Just doesn't help.
I saw a game, and it was just like all in Korean. I'm just like, I can't translate that.
Yeah. Ashes of Creation. That's another one that I saw.
Oh yeah, I think I kind of skimmed over that one too. Like, oh, I saw that.
Right. Before this one continues, Ashes of Creation is quickly becoming one of our most anticipated MMOs on the horizon, and with every bit of new in-game footage we see, we get more and more excited. One of the key features of this high fantasy MMO is a player-driven world with a unique node system that will allow players to build the world up around them. Will you build up your defenses or set about to destroy other player creations? Oh, so this is kind of like Rust in a way. The server will have dynamic, ever changing content because of the unique system, with each server having different ebbs and flows. Players will have their own housing, as players can build and own buildings around the world, from farms to mansions. One of its other key features is the ability to siege castles, building up a guild filled with allies to take down other castles and create your own dynasty. That
Nice.
is very interesting. So it's definitely PvP based, which kind of it's kind of a turnoff for me. But let's continue. Everything we've seen from Ashes of Creation so far points to it being a wildly unexpected experience where players shape the world around them. With player housing, a player-driven economy, and apparently a lawless land, it looks like we're in for something incredible. The game will hit Kickstarter on May 1st, and will hit well over their goal of 750K in just over 12 hours. Wow! People are hyped out. People are hyped, us included. In fact, Ashes of Creation is now our most anticipated MMO currently in development, and we can't wait to hear more about this new MMORPG. Wow.
That seems
Let's
interesting.
continue the videos, see what it's about. It's definitely PvP based, which I would have a hard time with.
Which isn't inherently bad, it's just,
It's just not my style of game.
yeah.
PvE based, yeah, that's more my style. That's just something. PvP is something that I can't really get into. It has to be something special for me to actually get into. And Destiny, the Crucible and Destiny was kind of one of those that I was somewhat able to get into.
Sorry, YouTube. Yeah, I should go back to Rift one day. And be like, hey, I'm gonna PvP everything.
Oh, jeez. I could try Rift. I am kind of in the market to check out other MMORPGs. I mean, MapleStory 2 is a great MMORPG, but the thing is, last time I logged into it, it's becoming overwhelmed by bots. Over half the population in MapleStory 2 is bots, which is sad. And it's kind of ruining the game and the game experience because you can't get into a dungeon without 1 or 2 bots in the party. There are people that get 3 bots in the party, and it ruins the entire experience.
This is it, the final wave.
Let's see, the best upcoming MMORPGs, top MMOs currently in development. Let's check that out.
1.
Pyro down! Medic! Medic!
See, I'm not gonna fully play this one through because this one does narration in it. Has narration in it by Rest Games. I kind of don't want to take the risk of getting copy strike.
Crap.
Because it is his content. It's not the silent one. Let's try this one.
Gotta get as much money as we can, and then upgrade each other.
This one sounds better. Before it starts,
Ready. Get the ready
this
button.
video is by Gamer Zach. And if you want to check his stuff out, here is his tag. So he's getting the credit for this, but he's not. It's not based on his opinion. It's so far. It seems like it's going to be a factual of what MMORPGs are coming.
Go, go, go! Soldier down!
Oh man, that is no.
Oh man, that is
Okay,
not-
Ashes of Creations. Ashes of Creations is the first on the list, and this guy is talking about microtransactions. The game is still in alpha, and there's already microtransactions coming up.
Rip.
So it's going to be kind of a money grabby thing for PvP sets.
Not shocked.
Sentry going up!
Good lordy. Everyone is just like, yeah, we could defeat this wave. And I'm like, guys, no, this boss is way too overpowered.
What game?
TF2, but we're playing man versus machine. Man versus
Oh,
machine.
jeez.
Custom server.
Oh, jeez.
Building the sentry.
Oh, jeez.
Sentry going up.
Oh, jeez. Oh, the Saga of Semia seems like it'd be a good one, but with a lot of the bugs that they're working on now, what drives this MMORPG is that it's going back to what a lot of the roots of MMORPGs were supposed to be, and based on the communities. So there's that. It's an MMORPG based more on social interactions and leveling with friends, and not entirely being able to solo a lot of stuff. Whereas a lot of MMORPGs, you're pretty much pushed into lone style play, where you're soloing dungeons, you're soloing world bosses, you're soloing it's become kind of a hindrance in a way, where you're not getting a lot of the social interactions of what MMORPGs were supposed to be, what they used to be.
The last group
And
of
that's one thing that World of Warcraft was a very, very big thing about,
Oh,
and
no.
especially while
Oh, no.
leveling,
Oh my God,
because
here we
back
go.
then you didn't have
Where is it?
instance matching or matchmaking or
oh,
anything
yeah.
of the sort, where you can get
Here it
into.
comes.
You bring
I
up
see
a
it, it's
different
blue.
window and click find
no.
dungeon, or get into a PvP match that way. You actually had to put your groups together
Damn it.
to run
hit it
dungeons,
once,
to
I'll
do
be
some
good.
quests that needed additional help. Yeah. It forced you to be able to
Oh no, the
communicate with other people, and the social standards for MMOs were quite higher, and you learn so much more about your class.
Up here
You
comes
learn
straight
so much
number
more
one.
about the mechanics of dungeons. You learn so much more about the game as
I like to trade
as a
for
whole.
items, and I just traded for some items.
Nowadays, you really don't have
How did I
that.
die from all the way over there?
There's really no social interaction. Social
my God.
interaction in an MMORPG is almost non-existent. It's just the people that usually are sociable that go around talking to people, whereas the loner ones are still loner,
Oh my god.
doing things on their own.
From deploying the bomb.
I understand that there are people that do want to do things on their own and try to overcome certain obstacles, but where it comes from an MMORPG standpoint, it should be where you
I don't vote for the next map.
need to be able to interact with people to move forward in a game. Whereas World of Warcraft used to force you, not so much force, but more encourage you to socialize with people.
Please change it.
That way you can get through the game. Nowadays, you don't even have to do that.
Quickly, get to an upgrade station.
Which, in my opinion, is kind of sad.
I don't know. I'm more of a solo person, even in an MMORPG.
And that's understandable.
I mean, have you seen how I play?
Like complete garbage.
I didn't mean it like that, but okay. The
I
word,
was just giving you crap.
the word I was hoping you would say is reckless.
Well, yeah, you
Yeah,
have.
I have a medic.
I have seen you get reckless, but when you're
yeah,
in
this isn't that
a
bad,
group
this
with
isn't that
friends, you're not as reckless.
I see what you did there. Not as reckless.
That's what I'm. And that's one thing that the old styles of MMORPGs used to be, is being able to communicate with people and learn the game and coordinate. Now it's just mass confusion and you brute force your way through dungeons, if not solo dungeons, which is sad.
No, though. Here's what. It's funny. This is a game that has a lot of flaws, but it also has a lot of base of good, like good gameplay mechanic. And I always keep referring to this game. It's an old game of mine. I'll probably reinstall it one of these days. Perfect World. You know this by now. A lot of the older content, yeah, you will solo. It's not a big
I am
deal.
ready.
Actually, practically easy. But a lot of your late game content requires a lot of coordination, a good blade master, which hello, and people knowing what to do, which is like amazing.
I'm
So
ready.
it always had like the background of
Everyone
a
ready?
really good, of a really good game. It's just that it can be a bit pay to winny.
Yeah, and I kinda don't like pay to win games.
Yeah.
It's just, it's dumb when games are pay to win, and it makes it to where it's either you work for your stuff and become good with the class, or you buy your way to the top.
Oh, you see, if you just
Beat
buy
shit with the class.
this Saturday. Anyways, so
They're here. Get that bomb to the hatchway. We're all
yeah, here's the thing about Perfect World. If you just buy your gear and not work your character,
2, 1.
you're about as useful as a
Get to it.
tin can trying to be
Okay, here
armor.
comes another trade.
I kid you not.
Indeed.
This one's a small one.
Hey, I can mute people. Because I've been playing that game for quite a bit, and I can tell you one thing. I've seen some really terrible players, and they were like in quote-unquote in-game gear, all this stuff, and they didn't have any other stats, practically. They were just all gear. They didn't learn their skills that well. They didn't read their skills. They don't have their spirit. They don't have anything much except for gear. And I'm just like, I can kill you and I have worse gear than you. And I've done that quite a bit. I love that game though. I really do. It's just some days it can be like, God, it's a lot of work for nothing. However, I will say this one thing. The best weapon in the game, the best weapons in the game, good luck reaching out your wallet, because you're either spending an exuberant amount of money, or the faster way, you work to your
Piss off, big
stuff.
head.
So it's actually
It's
easier.
usually the best way to do it is work your way to it instead of just buying everything.
What I'm saying is, like, that's actually the best way of getting the best weapon in the game. But even then, it's something that you work for months before you can actually get somewhere with it. And it doesn't matter if you spend a ton of money. If you didn't spend a dime, you're practically going to hit that spot about the same time. Which is something that's really cool.
Alright, let's continue.
Okay. What else? What time is it actually? 21:40.
How am I gonna...
Interesting. Life is futile.
I mean, okay.
No, that's an MMO that's upcoming.
Yeah.
It's early access, that's why, jeez.
What's up?
Oh, it's catching a lot of hell because there's a lot of bugs in it, and people aren't liking it because there's not a lot to do. It's early access. Hello?
Yeah. Just to give you the taste of the game and its mechanics, not to give you all the in-game stuff at the very beginning.
Yeah, it's just, it's early access. That's why it's early access. There's not going to be a lot to do. Content will be released over time, and updates and bug fixes and so on and so forth. It's early access, and that's what I don't understand about people. It's that they're throwing fire at a game that is in early access, saying that it's garbage because there's not a lot to do and there's a lot of bugs. It's like, well, what do you expect for something that is still in development? It's like, it's, to me, it seems that get upset at something that is just starting out and throw fuel on the fire and cause a lot of problems and tear other people down. No, we should be working together as a community, and we've gone over this before
Let's go, mate.
in a couple shows ago.
Bring me Metal Man to fight!
If we work together and not toss fire at each other and cause a lot of problems and
Here they come.
actually give constructive criticism,
2, 1.
things would turn out a lot better, and everyone in the community, the gaming community, would see much more improvement rather than tossing shit at each other and degrading each other. And, yeah, it's just it gets bad. I'll just say that, and I'll leave it at that.
You big-head wankers. You prancing show ponies.
What?
What?
So, Ascent, Infinite Route,
Keep yapping that big mouth while it's still attached to your
by the
bloody neck.
creators of Terra and PUBG.
Oh, so Blue Hole.
Yeah, Blue Hole Studios is behind this.
You have killed all the spies.
Butthole Studios. Oh god, I just got one shot. But,
Technical mess. Sounds like Blue Hole. Oh my word. It's like, wow. Laggy and a technical mess.
Here come the spies.
yeah, that's...
That is Terra in a nutshell. That is Terra in a nutshell. Oh my word. And so that game is going to be something left more to desire.
That's gonna be funny.
Oh my word, it's going to be interesting when that comes out. Especially, just... Blue Hole already has a very, very tarnished name. Since the last 8 months, they weren't listening to their player base, period, in any of their games.
Any.
Yeah, any of their games. And now they're putting out a new game, a new MMORPG, and they're expecting it to do well, and it has the same issues as their other MMORPGs. Hello, Blue Hole, get your head out of your ass and something about it.
Someone's salty.
Worlds Adrift. Well, you already know that Blue Hole has got... What's the...
You have destroyed all the spies.
Blue Hole already has a bad name.
Oh yeah.
They caused a lot of damage to themselves for the decisions that they've made.
Why do you think that their alternate name is Butthole Students?
Indeed. So, if they actually do something about even just one of their games and listen to their player base and correct their mistakes and work at righting their wrongs and building their reputation back up, then people would probably take notice. And they might have a better name for themselves. Are they going to have a name that they want? Probably not. I don't think they're ever going to get that high in the standards of what they want, especially how they've been doing as of late. So we'll see though, once that game comes out, and if they still have the same issues. And so to say, Bluehole doesn't really work on fixing a lot of issues that their games have. They mask it is what they do. They throw a quick fix on it. It'll last maybe 10 to 15 minutes, and then the issues will review themselves again, and people will be bitching and complaining about it, and they just won't correct the issues at hand. They keep trying to cover it up, essentially, and it causes more issues down the road because they don't want to spend the money, time, or effort to make something better.
Yep.
All spy bots destroyed. Yes! The bomb has been sent back to the start.
Gotta love Bluehole.
Waste of all your head, wanker.
Wave completed. Now get to an upgrade station.
Worlds Adrift is something that is very, very apparent in gaming community, as it is an open world, player-based game. Are griefing the new players and causing a lot of mayhem, chasing the new and inexperienced players in the game, thus causing damage to the game and the name of the game, or the developers behind. So, that one's probably going to have a lot of issues come the time it's about to get released, especially since the players that are more experienced are treating newer players and wanting a new experience like crap and chasing them out of a game. That is just a recipe to kill a game.
Oh, yeah.
And there have been many games that have died that way. Open player base, PvP, so on and so forth, to where the experienced against the inexperienced, it's just, no. That overall causes problems.
Yeah. It's something that does need to be addressed, that's for sure. But I don't think Bluehole is gonna be the one who's just gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna do good things. by the way, YouTube audience who are using OBS, Alt is the way to drag or crop a window. Essentially, it's pretty cool. And we just saw the YouTube audience wiping Fox's nose. And speaking about a deadpan face, look at him. He's just like still
Yes,
in the night.
looking intently at new upcoming MMOs.
On the spot. Cool stuff. While I am about to go insane. Da, 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 da. Beat you with that.
Elysium Entertainment Identity. It looks like a Breaking Bad thing.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I'm going to flip this. Can I cannot flip? What? Wait, transfer. Bless you. Bless you.
Thank you. Excuse me. Ooh, Wild West Online looks like an interesting MMORPG that will be coming to fruition. It's done by 612 Games, and it's an open world, of course. And you could either be the hero or the villain, and so to speak, for terms of heroes and villains, or superheroes, or villains. Either way, it looks like something that would be quite interesting because you could either be good or bad. You could be the ones that create the bounties, or you could be the one with the bounty. And being able to either work for all your stuff or claim all your stuff. Either way, you're going to be putting in some work for this game, it seems like. And you can do an honest day's work, or you can do shady practices. Though it is kind of, what was the term? It's kind of a side story of it. People don't know if it's like a rumor. People don't know if it's going to be there or not.
Wait, repeat that?
Engineer bot has teleported in.
The shady business practices.
I think some people in some communities would love that.
Indeed. It's definitely something to look at. And hopefully it becomes something worthwhile.
I'm moving this. Come on, get. I'm moving this. Forward. Phew. Scouts are going.
The engineer bot is dead, but there's still an active teleporter. Alert! If they deploy the bomb, all is lost!
Valnir Rock.
To an upgrade station and prepare for the next wave.
Okay, yeah, I have something on Valnir Rock right here, actually. Let's see, we've seen just about every type of fantasy MMO under the sun right about now. Elves, dwarves, wargs, vampires, trolls, and similar fantasy trope races have been featured in the genre for decades. But what about a Viking-themed MMORPG? Enter Valnorok, which just bleeped our radar during Gamescom 2017. It's a Viking-themed online sandbox survival RPG that uses Norse mythology and its backdrop. Players awaken on Valnor Island alone and are tasked with surviving against the land, mythical beasts, and violent others. In Valnorok, you can build your own Viking empire thanks to the ability to build and improve village structures and forming a clan to follow you into battle. Defend your village together with your friend. Valnorok could be one of our most anticipated new MMORPGs to play this year, and hopefully we get more information on it soon. A Viking themed MMORPG. That is, ooh.
Be interesting to say the least. I mean,
Fine, men.
you could do a
It
lot of
is on
things.
Steam,
Medic!
so
Go, go, go!
let's see if we can find it. Near Rock Survival RPG. The Valorok is a multiplayer survival role-playing game in a Viking setting with quests by best-selling author Giles Kristen. Explore a huge open world, craft items, cook meals, build houses, and found clan cities. Raid other clans or raid other clans or place bounties. Pray to the gods and survive. It does have mixed reviews, just like the video said, as there are a lot of bugs, and it's still early access, so that's to be
3, 2, 1.
to be foreseen.
Attack!
Yeah, I'm not too worried about the whole early access and it being like any
Engineer
sort
down.
of bug freeness.
Yeah. You're gonna get that with any early access games. Even Green Hell has a lot of bugs in it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's still fun as hell to play. It's just, there are gonna be bugs in any early access game. It's to be expected. And if you see an early access game with no bugs, then there's something wrong.
Tank! There are multiple tanks!
But let's look at the trailer on Steam. Like the music.
An engineer
Combat, PvE, and PvP servers. Mythical creatures in the wild and in huge dungeons. Skill and craft anything in professions. Living cities, quests from 3 factions. Trade and farming, grow plants, loot villages.
Viking things.
Yeah, gods and religion, everything you know about housing and clan bases, raid, defend, and deploy guards. It even has dragons. Ooh. What is this, Skyrim?
Fafnir.
Pyro down!
You've driven
So even though it doesn't look completely visually appealing so far, as there are a lot of bugs and a lot of issues happening with the game, and still being early access, it's understandable, but hopefully they'll step up their game. Work towards improving it, whether it be slowly or expeditedly. See, right here it even says Valnir Rocket is an online sandbox survival role-playing game inspired by Norse mythology. Players will awaken to find themselves on Valnir Island and must do whatever it takes to survive in a land of wild animals, mythical beasts, and violent men. As a 100 Viking warrior, butcher your enemies in bloody combat. Oh, okay. Now, as a Viking warrior, butcher your enemies in bloody combat, build and improve the village structures, and form a clan to expand your power and reputation. Battle against opposing clans. Find bounties on hated enemies. Place bounties on hated enemies and discover ruined artifacts to gain favor with the gods with great deeds and holy sacrifices. Might makes right in the Viking world of Valnir.
Sounds fun.
Indeed. It looks like it might be something worthwhile to check out once it's further along in its development and a lot of the bugs and issues that we work out. So keep that one in mind.
Yeah, actually type it down on my Discord or somewhere, leave a note after the show, because we can definitely take a look at that, because it's well worth looking at. Anything with Vikings is pretty cool.
Okay, send it your way. Down the rock.
Down the rock.
Oh, send your way. Let's see what else there is. Conqueror's Blade.
But yeah, color me impressed.
Ooh, less online.
Bless.
Scout down!
The engineer bot is dead, but there's still an active teleporter.
Scout down!
Bless Online has kind of dropped off pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where we talked about earlier. There was a lot of hype behind it, but it fell short.
Massively.
And yeah, that's one thing that we have to kind of pay attention to. Is there are games that look like they could take off, but if you set the standard too high, they fall way too short of the standard. People aren't going to be interested in the game overall, and that in turn can kill a game too. So it's something you have to be careful about. Darkfall New Dawn.
Sound off if you're ready.
Let's go!
Ready.
That is interesting. So, Darkfall New Dawn was a game that was been around in 2009, and it kind of flopped. And there's a lot of outcry that there was some bugs and not fully finished as a game, and kind of died down. But another developer stepped in sometime later on and has been overhauling the game as a whole. So it's bound to be released here in the near future, if not already. So that'll be interesting.
Nice.
It's subscription based, so that'll be difficult to get on. Those that don't have money. Shroud of the Avatar. Check out. Let's see. Shroud of the Avatar. I think it's on Steam.
Pyro down.
Shroud of the Avatar.
Soldier down.
The release date was March 27, 2018. First made a role-playing video game described as Ultima. Oh. Ultima has been a long-standing RPG. think that's something I'll probably look at too.
It looks like it might be interesting, but it's got mostly negative reviews and all-time mixed reviews. So it's gonna have to be cautious. It is free to play, but it's check it out at your own risk.
Yeah. We could probably give a new in-depth review. Next episode, we can go ahead and do that.
Good. So is that.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking.
Camelot Unchained.
Oh. Oh wait, never mind.
An engineer bot has teleported in. The bomb has been sent back to the start.
Pantheon, Rise of the Fallen.
Defeated the wave. Good. Get to an upgrade station before they return.
Let's go, let's go, let's go!
Fall in, men.
Chronicles of Illyria.
Yeah, that's what we just talked about a few moments ago, and how it seems pretty solid.
Well, let's continue this video on it then.
It's funny, your audience get to see the previews and trailers and stuff. Mine's just like, I'll just give you links.
Yeah.
4, 3.
Well, I played TF2. Anyways.
Attack!
Profile. What? Holy yeah, that is like some in-depth stuff. There's campaigns that can last anywhere between 3 months to a year.
Nice.
This is Crowfall.
Oh, Crowfall.
Yeah, that is ridiculous. Holy moly. Wow. Just wow.
Heavy down. Pyro down. Scout down. Kaboom. Attack! Pyro down.
that's another one we should check out. Elder Scrolls Online. It just got another expansion.
Okay.
I know the Elder Scrolls lineage has been a very, very big thing between Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim. And of course, Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be coming out in the near future. I don't know when, but there is rumor that it's going to be based in Hammerfall.
Yeah, the rumors.
Soldier down.
I kind of wished for Valen would.
That would have been a good one too. Mr. Dead Face over there.
I'm sorry.
So yeah, there's a couple MMORPGs or even just games in general that we could try out for the next show for you guys. That way you guys know more what's going on, and if you don't have the time or the energy to try a lot of these games yourselves, we are there to help you guys out. And if you are kind like myself that want to look at the gameplay of certain games before jumping into it yourself, we can definitely help you out with that by trying some of these games. Still dead-faced over there.
I
Go on,
know.
look lively.
I know.
And he's saying, "I'm dead-faced, jeez." But yeah, it's. We want to be able to help you guys out as this show grows. That way, you guys are more informed going into something than you would be if you just jumped into it blindly. Definitely want to jump into games and pull out a lot of the lore in games that we want to feature on the show. That way, you guys know what to expect lore-wise. We're not gonna show you guys, even though you guys will see a lot of the gameplay itself, we're not gonna tell you guys how to play your characters or what should be and what shouldn't be of the styling of each class, but more it's going to be, hey, if this lore interests you or if this style of gameplay interests you, check it out.
Yep.
Your head just hangs down low when you play games.
I know, I'm so sorry. I am the deadiest of all dead faces. I really am. It's a hard habit to break. When I'm focused, yeah, I'm in focus mode.
Yeah, it's fine. That's why I kind of don't want to play games when we do talk shows and like start looking into upcoming MMORPGs, and we should be doing an actual talk show. That way, people, instead of seeing a dead face like yours, and sometimes mine, they see us interacting not only with ourselves but with the audience as well, moving around, being lively, smiling, stuff like that. I mean, granted, I do have 3 monitors, and I'm looking at all of them and what's going on, and have things spread out. I'm trying to keep myself from having that dead face as well, and having that concentration on games, because this is what we're working towards as a talk show and doing reviews and pulling games aside and doing a more in-depth review of those and pulling the lore out of those games and giving you an insight of what some games are about.
Or you can just have a dead face me.
Call you Zombie Houndtraz.
Right.
Zombie Traz.
Yeah.
Go, go, go!
But I think that concludes to one of our final points, though.
Oh.
Yeah. So we do have still a thing about art. It could be for the YouTube, for the stream, for both, for the Discord itself, anything art related.
You cut on that one.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. But anything like art related, give us a holler. There's if you happen to be on our Discord, go ahead and go to drawing, I believe it is, or art.
The artistry category.
Yeah.
It could be anything. You could do the artwork itself, which would fall under the drawing. There is music, video creation, whatever it may be. It's all there.
Yeah, show that place a little bit of love.
And also, we are still in the market looking for somebody to help us create a logo for our show, which is definitely something that we need. We still need to toss around the idea for that. We still need to work on the intro and outros.
Yeah.
Sound off if you're ready.
So there's all of that as well. And this show, there's no telling how long the development of this show is going to be, because it is going to be kind of slow going, but it'll be worth it in the end when it fully gets developed and we get ourselves established. And we won't be able to do it without you guys as well. So even though the show is growing and we are getting ourselves established as this show, it's the community behind us that keeps pushing us forward to become more with the show, become more as ourselves, and continue to grow, continue to push forward.
Oh yeah.
Dude, he's going off the chain right now.
Huh? Oh. I'm starting to hear your Discord, yeah. But
Yep. Server mute. Time to mute servers. Should do this before.
I have streamer mode on, so everything just mutes automatically.
I should set my streamer mode up for that.
Mm-hmm.
That bomb bot's getting angry.
But either way, it is what it is, as it is right now. But yeah, we're still getting things figured out for the show and getting things established. It is slow going right now because we do have real lives that stand in the way and slow our progression. If you guys have any suggestions, it'd be very, very helpful if you let us guys if you guys let us know. Excuse me, English hard. And
Sniper down. Pyro down.
we want our show to be influenced by you guys, not just ourselves, but as you guys, the community that backs us.
Entered the area.
Yep. I'm just that dude in the background.
Most of the time, yeah. You've done a lot of help with the Discord server.
No, I meant like, never mind.
Stop them!
Either way.
Yeah.
So,
I think that for the most part kind of concludes everything. We'll go ahead and what's the first game that you want to try for next week?
Pyro down! Pyro down!
what was it one that we wanted to try?
There's quite a few.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
This is my world. You are not welcome in my world!
Some of them are in early development
Sniper!
or early access.
Yeah.
Bless kind of fell on its face.
Yeah, just a bit. And by a bit, I really mean by a ton.
Yeah. That was a flop. It died off pretty quick. There's probably still some hardcore players behind it, but who knows?
It's dead. But that's okay. Mistakes happen.
Yeah, it does. I'll have to look over that video again. See what ones it was. I don't know what they are right offhand. It's just, ugh.
Brain's not working.
Yeah, my brain's not working, but it will.
I think that's a good time to cut it then. We kind of talked about all the points that we had tonight.
Basically, some of it was quick, some of it not. We wanted to look at some of the new upcoming MMORPGs. As we said, well, as I've said, say MMORPGs aren't what they used to be, but there are some developers, some companies that are trying to bring it back to what it was, whereas others are trying to take it up a notch and bring something new to the table. That being, let's see, Valnarok was one of them. Profile was another. Project TL is definitely one I want to kind of check out. Lost Ark was another one. Is Lost Ark on here? No, it's not.
The bomb has been sent back to the start.
Let's see. Lost Ark Online. Was it the one that I was thinking of?
I believe so.
Hype level 7.81. It does have gameplay. Let's... It's still in beta testing. That's to be expected. I think it's one.
You're beating them back. Pull the move. Get to an upgrade.
Yeah, Lost Ark is the one that I was thinking of. It's still in beta though, but I'm looking forward to that one coming out. So definitely have to jot that one down.
Man up, ladies. Oh.
Let's go.
I used to be good with my rocket jumps. But
So we'll see. We'll also do some poking around and see what other
Protect mankind.
MMOs are around that could be a thing that we check out or even do some research into and let you guys know what they are about,
yeah.
and of course the developers that are behind it.
Yeah, I think we can do that, given some time. Download the game choice, do a little bit of research. I mean, I have a whole week off, so yay.
Scout down.
Nice. So definitely have that lined up for you guys, and
Stay down.
definitely we'll have that lined up for you guys, and of course with some influence of you guys' suggestions, we could even check out games that you guys might want us to do a review on or experience the gameplay as a whole. And so it's not just left to doing game reviews, but we could do let's plays through some of these games that you guys even suggest for the Fox show.
Oh yeah. And that'll be fun.
Oh yeah, definitely. And even if you guys join in with us as well, and either the game or and voice have becoming our special guest for the show and experiencing the gameplay for some of these games and giving your guys' opinion on the games, it will give new insight for not only us but for all the viewers as well.
Yep.
Definitely leaves more to look forward to, not only with games, but for our show.
Yeah. It'll be fun.
Indeed.
He's gonna fall down that pit.
Pepperoni.
But I think we kind of talked about everything. Let's see, yeah, games, a little art deal, happy Thanksgiving, staying safe, don't get too drunk,
Definitely.
and we have a couple of tasks in hand. And for next week, maybe we get the whole allotted 3 hours.
Indeed. I mean, we're still pretty close, 2 hours and 20 minutes into it, which isn't
Yeah.
bad.
Oh yeah.
I think
But
could also be more to it.
Yeah.
These last few episodes have been more on the whim because your life has been kind of standing in the way, but we're trying our best to get the show more established, doing the work behind the scenes. and figuring out what we want to do. We still need to touch on the content that we want to do, and we need to do the research on things that are upcoming, or even things that we want to do, or even playthroughs and reviews.
Yeah, and that kind of gives time to wind up. But once we get a system going, that's one of the main things. Once we get a system going, we can do this actually pretty simple. But right now, things have been going under the allotted 3 hour time frame. But oh well, things happen. Say la vie.
Indeed.
But with that, what do you think? You have anything to add?
No, that was pretty much it.
Same here. So I guess, what do you want to do? Call it?
Yeah, let's call it. Wrap it up.
Alright, I'll go ahead and do the honors then. So that being said, everybody, welcome to the show. And this is a new start. I know it's still a little bit shaky, even though with some of the planning on both ends, it'll continue to kind of grow, make this pretty good. But I'm losing my words. So I have a few objectives to do, and one of them is making art for the intro and outro, even if that means us doing it ourselves. I'm not the best drawer, but hey, something's there. Something's like, hey, it's decent. We have a game to go ahead and download and review. We have a few more other games that we probably should go under our, or go over our radar, or under in our radar. Yeah, in our radar.
Just show on our radar.
Games, other games, not the show itself. And
Show up on our radar.
yeah, show up.
To blip on our radar. Rah!
But for right now, I think this is a good time to say, hope you all have a good one. And we will see you next Saturday. Or earlier. We'll find out. If it's earlier, it's not going to be an NFX show. But it'll be more of something else game related.
Indeed.
So anyways.
So, that being said, thank you guys so much for joining us this evening. If you are new to either Entourage's YouTube or even my Twitch, please feel free to either follow or subscribe and check out the new upcoming content. And if you guys want to join us on Discord, I do have it linked down below. I'm sure Entourage will have it linked in his YouTube.
Of course.
Check us out there, as we do have a little bit going on between the support of the streamers, as with ourselves, the YouTubers, and even the artists that are within the server. So come check us out, give us support there as well, and of course we'll support you guys in return. We do have quite a bit going on within the Discord, and we encourage you guys to join us in games and in voice, and to make it more lively and interesting, of course. So, as always, my dear foxes, stay cute, stay cuddly. I'll see you in the next show. Bye-bye.
Take care.